Hi, Dave Csanda here with this week's Buzzbite Report for the Upper Midwest at anglybuzz.com. You know, I always like to tell people that if you live where I live in northern Minnesota and you can get through the period from January 10th to February 20th, then you got it made, because that's really the pits of the winter. That's when it's really so cold. Yet here I'm looking at the calendar, and we're coming to the tail end of that time, but it's not even cold here right now. You know, it's like we've had an El Nino winter and we have just bypassed the real depth of our up north winter. And so what's that going to do to our traditional fishing patterns? You know what? I think we can take our usual calendar. If we say we are usually someplace doing something on February 9th or March 5th or something like that, we can take our calendar and we can throw it right out the window this year, because it's just not going to be following the traditional seasonal patterns. Things are going to start warming up real quickly right now. I looked at the weather report the next few weeks ahead. It's going to be average to above normal throughout the rest of the winter. So it's going to change our fishing patterns. Now, right now, if you're ice fishing, you're probably fishing a lot of deep basin areas in the main lake, and that's going to hold for a little bit. But I'll tell you what, if you're fishing for walleyes or you're fishing for crappies, it's not going to be too long before those fish start shifting location more toward the portion of the lake where their spawning areas are. So you're going to see a little bit of an early exodus. This is my prediction. From your traditional midwinter spots, what you want to be doing is following along with them. And in the next few weeks, we're going to highlight more some late ice patterns as opposed to this real mid ice patterns, which we would normally be talking about in a regular year. Now, as far as other things coming up on the horizon, rivers are going to be opening up throughout our region. And when you've got big rivers where the season remains open throughout the winter, it doesn't close down like inland waters, you're going to have walleye fishing in open water in boats, kick it into high gear. Places like the Mississippi and the Detroit and the Saginaw and the Missouri and places like that. So you want to be getting the boat ready a little bit early this year, because there's going to be a lot of opportunities to get out there and fish in open water. It's going to come early. You know, and where I live, it's not unusual to have an average ice out on my little lake where I live of April 16th. I think it's going to probably be sometime in March this year. That's how much the patterns are going to differ. So as far as the calendar goes, it's a good guide for us. But this year, like I say, it's out the window. We're going to have to read the conditions, watch the weather, follow the fish, and see what they're doing in order to keep catching them throughout what's left of our winter time. Now, in that regard, I'd like to see you go out to our site here at anglybuzz.com, click on your state-by-state guides, and see what our guys in the field are saying in these last couple of weeks, and they will help you catch more and bigger fish in the weeks ahead.